it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of all of my drugstore favorites. I have an entire face, like from primer to setting spray, everything all set up over here, and I'm so excited to film this video because I love sharing affordable products that are really good quality that everybody can access. I think it's so important to make videos that aren't like testing all these luxury products, or even high-end is sometimes not accessible to everybody, but these drugstore products are so good. They have quality that is just as amazing as these high-end products, and I'm so excited to share with you some of my favorites. I'm going to start off with my NYX Marshmallow Primer. So this was really popular, I think probably 1 or 2 months ago maybe on TikTok. This blew up and it was super viral. Everybody was making videos testing it out, and I was actually able to pick it up back then. I think I had used it in maybe 1 or 2 videos, but this is such a good drugstore primer. It's very hydrating, but it's also smoothing, so it leaves your skin with such a nice texture. It's not super greasy. It's not the most emollient one, but it does kind of have those sort of pore filling properties and smoothing properties. So I just take about 2 pumps of this in my hand, kind of work it together a little bit, and then I'm just going to rub this into my skin. Then for concealer, I'm going to go in, this is the Kokie Be Bright Illuminating Concealer. This one I think that you can get from their website online, or I know this is where I got mine, was from Ipsy. So if you have Ipsy, I think you can purchase it through them. And then I've also seen this before at, I think it was Walgreens, or a CVS, or one of those stores. I'm just taking that under my eyes in the front of the face, and then I'm not going to do foundation today, just because I've been liking something not so heavy. So I'm just going to put that over the rest of my face, and I'm going to blend it out with a foundation brush. So that's all blended out. You can see it does a really good job at covering my under eyes, smoothing out any kind of imperfections or hyperpigmentation that I have. And then before I go in with powder, I do have one cream product. This is the ColourPop Cheek Dew Serum Blush in the shade Kiss Kiss. You can see it's in my project pan, but I've used a bunch of this already, and I think that it's really good. So what I do is take about that much onto the back of my hand, and then going in with a kind of very flimsy brush, or even you could use a stippling brush, just kind of shear it out on the back of my hand, and then I'll tap this into place. Then when you look crazy like this, I just blend it out with my foundation brush, and it gives me the most perfect flush. And what I love about this product is the glow that it gives. It doesn't take off your foundation from underneath, and it's very buildable. So you can see I had a ton on. I was able to tap it out, and let's say I want a little bit more on this side, I'll just tap some more on, blend it out, and it's just so pretty, and I really love this blush so much. Then for powder, I'm going to go in with one of my longtime favorites. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05. To me, this one is probably the best dupe for the Laura Mercier powder. It has a very similar texture and finish to the Laura Mercier, which is why I think that it's a good dupe. And I have the shade 05 Fair, but I think the shade Light, which is, I think it's shade 10, is a similar shade dupe to the Laura Mercier as well. But I really like this one, and it's super smoothing on my under eyes, which is an issue that I have with loose powders. So for this to be a really good under eye powder on me, then I know that it has to be pretty good for everybody else. And if you're wondering about my skin type, I have dry to normal skin, I would say. It used to be a lot more dry, but once I kind of got down my skincare routine a little bit better, I'm not as dry. But yeah, I don't have oily skin, and I find that this is fine for me. So I'm really happy with this one. You can see it gives such a pretty airbrushed finish, and even with the lights and everything, just in person, it looks so nice, and it looks this way throughout the whole night. And I think it is just so pretty, and it's so smooth feeling. I love this powder. And you can see the blush that I put on underneath does get covered up a little bit, but it's nice for long wearing purposes, because sometimes powder blush isn't as long wearing, but I do still have a little bit of that cream underneath, which was set down by powder, so it'll definitely last longer. So I just like kind of having those 2 layers on my skin, and I think that it looks really good, and I'm loving how my skin's looking. And then you can see that powder, it sets my skin, and it doesn't feel tacky, but it's not super dry looking. I still almost have a little bit of a glow kind of coming through from my concealer and from my blush. Then moving on to bronzer, I have, this is the Kiko Milano bronzer. This is the Ocean Feel bronzer in 01 Warm Honey. So they don't make this specific one anymore, but they repackage the same products like this one, these marbled bronzers, into a different packaging for each limited edition collection that they come out with. So just keep an eye out for any of these like huge giant pan, like so much product marble bronzers, because this formula is amazing. They smell like chocolate, they're long wearing, they're not super orange but not very gray toned. It's just the most perfect neutral color, and if you can find one in your shade, then that's even better, and I would definitely recommend this. Taking this big ColourPop fan brush, I'm just gonna swipe a little bit of this and hit my forehead a little bit, my temple area. What I've been liking to do is kind of go like over my eye and almost kind of bronze this area right over here. It's really nice for when I'm not even wearing eye makeup, even though I will be doing a little bit of eyeshadow today. I think that it just helps add dimension to the entire area, and I find that sometimes it helps because like sometimes here and here I have an issue with like that looking really pale compared to the rest of my face from when I put on bronzer, but I find that doing that and kind of just going over here really helps a lot. And then for blush, I have the Cult Classic Milani Luminoso blush. This is just an amazing formula. Just taking a blush brush, I'm gonna dust that over, kind of sweeping back a little bit, but then also bringing it across my nose. I think is such a cute look. And this, sometimes I don't even need to use highlight because it's such a glowy formula, but I will use a little bit of highlight just for purposes of the video. And on to my favorite highlights of all time. I think I have every single one that has ever come out. The Wet n Wild highlighters. I have the shades Bloom Time, Blossom Glow, Crown of My Canopy. Sorry if you hear my puppy barking. But today I'm going to be going into Bloom Time. This is kind of pinky toned, but it has such a pretty gold reflect, and I think it is just one of the most beautiful shades. And I mean, that blush was definitely glowy, but this adds like a whole other level, and I think that this pairs really well with the Milani Luminoso shade specifically, on my skin tone at least, and I absolutely love it. I love hitting the nose, on my lip, a little bit on the chin. I think it looks gorgeous. I feel like I'm a little over blushed, but I'm going to do my setting spray first, and then if anything I could just tap it out with my foundation brush, but I'm just going to leave it like this for now because it will fade. And speaking of setting spray, I guess I'll go ahead and do it now before I do like my brows and my eyes. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I don't know if it comes in this packaging anymore because I've had this one for quite a while, but this is so amazing. This is a dupe for the ABH Dewy set. So if you're really interested in trying that one out, then I would definitely recommend trying out the e.l.f. one. I love this one. Yeah, it smells so good. If you like the smell of coconut, you're going to love this. If you don't like the smell of coconut, then maybe don't try it out. But the formula is really good, so I definitely recommend it. And then I'm just gonna get up close quick. Look how my skin, the finish on my skin looks. I think it looks so pretty. It's so smooth. Like that powder from Maybelline is so amazing, and it just really creates such a nice base. And I'm loving how my makeup is looking so far. But now we're going to go in with brows. So this is the Milani Weekend Brow Eyebrow Tint. I have the shade 130 Medium Brown. This is a dupe for the ABH one, which I think I actually have. I do have it. It's like somewhere lost on my desk, but I actually like the Milani one better because this has such an extremely skinny, fine tip. The ABH one is not as skinny and as fine as this one, so I do prefer the Milani. But let me go ahead, I'm just going to take my little bronzer, and then this one is an eyebrow pen, so I'll try and get a little closer actually. If you like eyebrow pens or kind of tints like this, where you can really create those super fine brow hairs to fill in any areas that are a little bit more sparse. Like me, I have pretty full brows already. I do just like, just like to kind of fill in right over here and a little bit on the tail. So this kind of product is perfect for me. Sometimes I'll even draw a little line, then use my finger and blend it up, and then it just fills in and defines that bottom portion. There's one brow done. It takes like 2 seconds. I love this product. It's so easy, and it's very long wearing as well. There's the other eyebrow done. I love how they came out. I think that it's such an easy product to use, and it's a really great way to fill in your brows and have them looking nice. I'm actually gonna do a couple of little pieces right in the front, and then just just blend that out. There you go. I think that it looks so good. Came out really nice. I don't have a Drugstore eyebrow gel. I do have the NYX brow glue, but this one isn't a favorite if I'm going to be completely honest. I could come out here and say that this is really good, but I find that on me, especially since I have such dark eyebrows, it can leave a white cast. So instead, I'm just going to go in with the Kosas Airbrow, which is actually a kind of expensive brow gel. So I don't really have many brow gels. I only have like the brow glue from NYX, and then I think just this one. Because I recently did a declutter of quite a few different things. Like I even had the ABH Brow Freeze, which I'm not sure if I tried out in a video or not, but that one gave me a really, really bad white cast, so I actually ended up returning it. But this Kosas one is pretty good if you're looking for just a recommendation in general. But yeah, I don't really have a specific drugstore one that I can recommend in this moment in time. And I just wiped off my lips a little bit. I'm gonna put on some of my lip product. These are amazing. These are the color Pop Lip Crayons. This specific one is the one from the Animal Crossing collection in Coconut Juice. This is my favorite color that they came out with. You can get these in other shades, I think, and then I think they still do have the Animal Crossing one in stock, but this one in particular is like my perfect shade that I like for my lips if I'm going to be wearing a lip product. I think that it's so pretty, and I love the formula. I just love this color. I think that it's so pretty. It's like one of my favorite lip ever. It actually is in my project pan, and I've used up so much of it. As you can tell, this is all that I have left, like twisted completely up. So I've definitely gotten my use out of this product, and I would definitely repurchase if I had the chance. So now on to eyes. To recommend my favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes, I would have to say it'd be the ColourPop ones. ColourPop is a recurring theme here. I absolutely love their stuff so much. Another really great one is the e.l.f. Bite Size little mini eyeshadow palettes. The formula on those are actually really, really great as well. But if I'm gonna be honest, my complete faves are these ColourPop ones, specifically the That's Taupe palette and the Mandalorian the Child palette. And if you are interested, check the description box of this video and my last video, the one where I was testing Primark makeup. You'll find that I'm actually doing a giveaway on a brand new one of these. This is mine, but I have a brand new one completely closed up and ready to go once I hit 300 subscribers. So if you're interested and you wanted to enter, check out the description box below, or check out my Instagram, which is @handtagliente, which is right over here. I'll try to put it on either side. You can check out there, and if you want to, I guess I'll tell you now, just leave green emojis on my post. You have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Instagram, and comment green emojis on the post where I mentioned this giveaway. So go ahead and do that, and I'm really excited. Once I hit 300 subscribers, I'll be giving like another week for people to enter, and then I will close the giveaway, pick a winner randomly, and I'll DM you on Instagram. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I hope you guys enter and enjoy it. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little PSA about that. But anyways, back to here. So I'm going to go in with the first shade and the second shade, Boa and Pebble Beach. I'm just going to mix these together. Mainly Pebble Beach though, using a little Morphe brush. And I'm just going to dust this over my entire eye. Then I'm going to take whatever is left over, kind of run that along my lower lash line. Then to deepen up, I'm going to take this shade over here called Rock Steady. So I'm going to tap into there. And then this is like a very gray toned color. So I'm going to go into my bronzer. And I'm actually going to mix like with the color that I had on here with my bronzer. And then I'm going to use that to deepen up my outer edge. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So that's going to be it for my eyeshadow for today. I'm not going to go in with any shimmers because I wanted to keep an all matte look, because I am going to be doing some eyeliner, so I wanted to make that kind of the focal point. But what I'm going to do first is curl my eyelashes and do my mascara. So I'm just going in with this, I think it's like the Extra Curl Lash Curler from Revlon. And then for my mascara, I'm going to go in with two of them. These are my two all-time favorite mascaras in the entire world. It is the L'Oreal Air Volume Mascara in Waterproof and the Telescopic Mascara in Waterproof as well. And I'm just going to kind of layer these together, and I will be back with my eyes. So this is the before, okay, and then this is the after. So I just layered the two mascaras. I did one coat of the Telescopic, and then I let that dry for a couple seconds, and then I did another coat of the Air Volume over top, which is just drying a little bit more now. So while it's kind of like in the drying stage, I'm going to take my Telescopic a little bit more and kind of just like hold it and sort of try to get my lashes to really hold that curl and get a really nice coat. This is what I do to get my lashes to kind of look super curled like this, which is the look that I personally prefer on myself. And if you have any issues with getting your eyelashes to stay curled like this, I know that my lashes are the most stubborn eyelashes that I've ever like seen. Like, people can just use any old mascara and like it'll look fine, it'll look good, it'll stay normal. But on me, if I don't use a good mascara and if I don't use a waterproof mascara, my lashes just completely go like stick straight. You can't even see them. So for my lashes to look like this, you know that these have to be amazing mascaras, and both of them, even on their own, together they're incredible, and separately they're amazing as well. So I would just recommend these two, and if you have both, then try layering them out and see how you like it, because this is what mine looks like. Then while that's drying, I feel like I want a little bit of gloss on my lips. So this isn't Drugstore, unfortunately, but I'm just using a clear gloss. This is the one from Tower 28. One that's kind of similar, I would say, are like the Morphe ones. The Morphe Madison Beer one is a very similar formula to this. It's not very sticky at all. It's just kind of a more smooth sort of formula. So if you're looking for one that's like the Tower 28, I would go with the Morphe Madison Beer collection. I haven't tried the other Morphe lip glosses, so I'm not sure if they're the same, but the clear Madison Beer one is a very similar one to the Tower 28. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and pop that on. There we go. So that is even better. I love a little bit of a gloss on my lips. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like my mascara is kind of dry, so I'm gonna go in. I might do something crazy, which I could possibly regret at some point, but I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop liners. This is my all-time favorite one, the ColourPop brown one. It's in the shade Grande, and that's a little swatch of it right there. It's just a very pretty dark brown. And then I'm also gonna go in with the white one. This is in the shade Graceland, which it's a very opaque white. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of smudged that one, but it's a very opaque white, which is what I love. You only need like one, maybe two coats over if you're doing like over like glitters. But what I'm going to do first is take this one. I'll try and get nice and close so you guys can see. And I do like to do my mascara before my liner, so I did do that on purpose. But what I'm going to do first is draw my wing. So I'll draw my line where I want that to look. And then I'll just complete the wing, and then pull in a little bit, and then I'll just kind of fill that in. It took me a really long time to figure out how to do eyeliner. Like, it never looked good on me. One big thing though is that black liner does not look good on me. I like to use brown because then you can still see my eyelashes over it, which I think is something that really makes a big difference. So if you don't like how eyeliner looks on you, try using a brown one, specifically the ColourPop. This one's really, really easy to apply. It has a really simple felt tip. It's really good. So I'm just gonna kind of go over this, and sorry if you hear my puppy squeaking. He's in the kitchen. He wants me to come out and play with him. Almost there. I finished this eye. This one, it's not as even on the other side, but hopefully with what I do next, it'll help it out a little bit. I'm going to go in with my white one, and I'm just going to do an outline to make it a little bit of a graphic liner. So I can't really talk when I'm doing this, but I'll just try and like insert a clip if I can. I have to like get really close to my mirror, so hopefully it's an okay shot for you guys. Okay, so there you go. I did that, and then I'm just gonna fill in. You can see a little bit where it kind of went over the line just from like the creases in my eyes. So I'm gonna take this and kind of straighten out that little mess up right over there. Okay, there we go, and now I have this really pretty graphic liner. You can do over here, but I just personally like how it looks when you kind of outline the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on the other eye, and again, I'll be right back. This is the finished look. So here are my liners. They're not completely even, but I'm fine with that. They're not always going to be even, so it's whatever. If you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'm super excited to have been able to share these drugstore looks with you. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!